Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and welcome to Celeste. Released in 2018, this was an indie platformer that garnered a lot of attention from both players and critics alike. For good reason. A lot of good reasons, as a matter of fact. The original game released in 2015, made by only Matt Thorson and Noel Berry. Since then, they decided to go and create a small team of developers to essentially remake the game into a full product made for modern consoles of today. And the final product is Celeste. Celeste 2018 to be more specific. Not only does it improve upon the original gameplay formula that made the Pico 8 version so great, but it adds so much more to it. Including one of the best soundtracks of 2018 in gaming, one of the best stories in a long time that actually deals with a very relevant subject matter, and some lovable characters throughout the journey. But above all, the gameplay is very well polished and is definitely something well worthwhile to expect out of a platform experience in 2019. 2018, 2019. Time of recording, you see. But anyways, the version we're playing today is the Nintendo Switch version. This is the physical release from Limited Run that took a very long time to release because of the DLC. But now that it's finally here, we can finally cover it on the channel. Without further ado, we're going to go straight into the climb. Now, by default, the red-haired girl's name is Madeline. You are able to change this, but one and only, this is Madeline, and that's the way it should be. So, let's get into it. And it all starts at the bottom of the mountain. This is it, Madeline. The journey begins here and now. Just breathe. Whew. Why are you so nervous? I can think of several reasons, if I'm being honest. But alright, here we are. Madeline, start the show. We can run, jump, and almost get crushed by a giant block of ice. We're also able now to climb up walls, something that's going to come in handy as we continue through the game itself, and something not to be taken for granted. And as we continue, who's this character? Damn, Adeline's a savage! Well, anyways, let's continue forward to this Death Mountain, because the bridge is already collapsing and things don't look good. As a matter of fact, it's only gonna get worse from here! But anyways, time for the big mechanic of Celeste, the ability to dash in midair. Boom! And that's the Prologue. This is a unique ability that I don't think any other game's done before, and if they have, it's never been to this much polish. You can do this! That in mind, the climb begins for real. And it all starts in the first chapter of the game. Not only is this the mountain, this is, as a matter of fact, the Forsaken City. Why is the city here? We'll find out soon enough. But, let's begin. This is Chapter 1, the Forsaken City. And it's time to take our first steps. But first, a postcard from Celeste. It's just about saving and quitting. If you want to, you could essentially stop here and come back to the exact moment in the game. It's nice to have. But alright, here we go. Boom! So Celeste plays just like your typical platforming experience. You're able to run, jump, wall jump, and new to Celeste is climbing up walls, something that you'll definitely be doing a lot later on. And also for puzzle elements as well, and the midair dash. Along the way, there's plenty of strawberries to collect, some of which actually require that you don't use the dash ability. And I'm sure we'll be seeing one very soon. Yep, here it is. So there are some elements where you can't use the dash, and you do need to really think out your strategy, per se. Now, Celeste is also home to many nooks and crannies, which means there's plenty to explore, and for every risk, there is a reward. either more strawberries or other collectibles, some of which we'll be seeing later on. But right now, our primary focus is the strawberries. And we're going to try to go for as many as we can. This is not going to be a 100% playthrough, because there are some that are just too hard for me. And that's not a bad thing. It's important to know your limits. You can't go and do everything, but you can try. Alright, let's keep going. Take it nice and easy. Continue forward. But hey, here's a new character. Let's see, who is he? So alright, that was an introduction to the character Theo. We'll definitely be seeing more of him later on, but this is a great intro part for his character. But more importantly, it also gives us some exposition about the city itself. So this was a city that some corporation decided was a good idea to build on the mountain, but for unknown reasons, they failed on the project. And it looks like they made a long way progress, so for it to just end abruptly is quite a mystery. And honestly, that's a recurring theme with Celeste Mountain. There's a lot of mystery to it, and honestly there's more questions than answers. Even at the end of the playthrough, I think there'll still be some questions as to how some of this really happens, but I don't think there's going to be entire answers about it. And that's kind of one of the great things about Celeste, is the mystery behind it all. Like for example, what's this interesting contraption, and what do these colors mean? These birds, what are they trying to tell us? Well, we'll come back here at a later time, because there is a collectible to be found that is a pretty big part after the main game is completed. So don't worry, we'll be back here. Make sure you just keep down on your notepad. But let's keep going. So, with Celeste Mountain, you can see there's a lot of mystery to it, but at its core, it is still a mountain. And like all mountains, there is challenge to be found. Some great challenges, as a matter of fact. For example, here, I'd be dead if I didn't wait. Ah, I jinxed it. I would be dead had I not waited long enough. So let's wait for it again, and try again. There we go. For every risk, there is a reward. It's up to you, though, to figure out which risk you want to take. You can't go for them all, always. Let's keep it going. We're doing really good right now, as a matter of fact. Let's just keep moving forward. There are plenty of secrets to be found on Celeste Mountain, and there are some that you really do need to work for. So if you're not careful, you can either die a lot, or have all the collectibles you need. Alright, we're gonna take it nice and easy. As I mentioned before, I doubt this is gonna be a 100% playthrough because there are just some strawberries that I just can't get myself. But I'll try. I'll try what it takes. But alright. Careful here. So here's where you really gotta utilize grabbing onto the side of these mechanisms. And one of the core gimmicks of the Forsaken City is the conveyor belts. You know how every game has a single stage and each stage has a gimmick? Well, that's the Forsaken City. These conveyor belts. Dangerous, but I think here's where we're going. And we are going to take a couple of sacrifices each time. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wait up here. We're going to dash down below. Jump for it. There we go. Got it. Let's keep going. Now, I'm sure you've seen these emblems. These are checkpoints. If you decide to come back to a chapter later on because you're missing stuff or you just want to replay it, you're able to resume from this point on. Comes in handy more than you think it does. Alright, let's keep going though. Now remember, check every nook and cranny. I don't know if some of you noticed, but this is actually flashing. And here we're going to see another big collectible that Celeste has to offer. A cassette tape. What this cassette tape does, we're going to see in just a little bit. But this unlocks the B-side. After the main game, every stage where you find a cassette tape has a B-side. The B-side is essentially a harder version of the game, but the level design is completely unique in terms that it's almost like a brand new level. It just uses the same aesthetics. So if you want more out of Celeste when you're done playing the main game, try the B-sides. After all, they're definitely worth the challenge. Alright, I don't think I've been here yet. Let's go this way. Here we go. The other part of Celeste is playing out your movements, because sometimes you may have to dash, but you may not have enough dash to keep going, so you have to plan ahead. How should I approach this? For example, should I wall jump first and then dash? Or even just for like momentum burst, do I need to use a dash right away? Or do I wait? So there's a lot of strategic playing that really goes into play, but you don't really realize until the B-side. Alright, we're going to take it nice and easy. And up. There we go. Got it. Alright, I think there's more up this way. Let's go right first. I feel like there's more to the right. Yep. Okay, winged strawberries, so we cannot use the dash. Take it nice and easy, and got the strawberry. Overall, for introduction level to Celeste, I definitely love that instead of just the mountain itself, they went with the city design. I really love the city aesthetic, because it adds so much more to what would have just been a basic mountain. Think about it, compare this to the Pico 8 version. The Pico 8 would look just like this, but the one thing that sets it apart is the city vibe. I love the fact that they went with the city for essentially the first stage design. But anyways, let's keep going. We're going to have another strawberry over here, so we'll try to collect it. Make sure we plan ahead with our boost. And there we go. With the strawberries, you don't earn the strawberries until you land. So if you're able to get to a safe point, then you should be able to keep the strawberry. Good thing is, once you get the strawberry, you don't have to do any more. So if you die after collecting it, you don't have to go for the strawberry again. You already have it. But anyways, that's the end of the first chapter. Look familiar? Celeste Mountain. This memorial dedicated to those who perished on the climb. Alright, and that's the end of the chapter. And at the end of every chapter, you get this little still image of the characters and the environments. I love this one because it's just the bird sleeping on top of her. Oh, I love it. Even just the art style alone. I would love to have these as like postcards or like a poster. It's great. It really is great. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. That in mind, we have 18 out of 20 strawberries and only 4 deaths. And we did get the cassette tape, so we have the B-side for later on. We're going to be saving the B-sides until after the main game, so do stay tuned if you want to see those. They're much more harder, so my commentary may be a little off on those, but we'll figure out when the time comes. With that in mind, that's the end of the first episode of the Celeste Let's Play. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like and comment below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, throw caution to the wind. Or in Theo's case, YOLO!